choice here for me when it comes to Luther Burden, Trey Harris, or Jack Besh. Um, I've been a Luther Burden guy for a long time. I'm a big fan of what Luther Burden can do when the ball is in his hands. I think Luther Burden will play in the slot in Chicago right off the bat. I think he'll get a lot of touches. He's too good of a playmaker not to. So I'm going to go with the guy I've been talking about for a long time with Luther Burden.
Yeah, Disco, I see your question. We'll jump back to that. I do want to stop here for a second, Coach, and kind of talk about Luther Burden. Um, the argument that Pete uses towards Colston Loveland maybe having a slow year could easily be applied to Luther Burden as well. Could he step into that role where he just absorbs all of Keenan Allen's targets? I don't necessarily think so. Pete and I discussed that a little bit the other day. Coach, do you think that he has the ability to produce year one, or do you think it's kind of going to be a little bit more choppy or slow?
Well, I think it's extremely tricky. Ben Johnson being there, no one knows exactly what to expect. I do think Rome gets a few more targets. I do think DJ Moore, I don't know, his attitude comes into play a little bit. I think Luther Burden has a solid finish year one and then continues to get better and better. I can see a world where over time they get tired of DJ Moore and move on from some of the stuff that he does, which would make Luther Burden and Adunze even more impactful. I see Pete mentions his soft tissue injury. I don't know. I'm not too worried about that yet. I do think, I get what he's saying, like Christian McCaffrey-esque injury maybe. But it's early. It could just be playing things safe right now too. It's hard to say this early in the year. It may not mean anything yet. If it was actual training camp right before the season, I'd be more concerned. But I don't think there's any reason for concern yet.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Coach. I think that we just kind of hold for now and see what happens with the injury. I'm not going to speculate on that any, but I do think the role for him is going to be interesting. He is a fantastic playmaker with the ball in his hands. Obviously, he had a worse year at Missouri this past season than he did 2 years ago. The quarterback play from Cook was kind of terrible. How much of that can we attribute to just, the situation that he was in? I don't know, but I just think that the Bears kind of got to that point where they were hoping for a running back. One didn't fall to them in the third or the second round. And, they just were sitting there and they thought, hey, this guy's a playmaker and he shouldn't be on the board. So I think they took him.
Yeah, and I do tend to think if anybody can make something out of a playmaker, it's Ben Johnson. Like, he's going to get him the ball. He'll find a way to get the ball in his hands and see what he can do. Now, will he make the most of it? I don't know. But he's going to get every opportunity early on to see what he can do with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, totally